Here is a video of a problem that we did in class where there was a big engine that was being hoisted. And what you see here is there is a ring, and we figured out that there were three forces acting on the ring. There's a force from the rope, there's T1 and T2, and the angles are shown. And then if you work through the F equals ma equations, you will get two equations. So I've labeled that 1 and 2. I won't go into how we got these equations, but it is all in the class notes. So the thing you have to try to do is figure out the unknowns, and you have to recognize which are the unknowns. So in this problem, the unknowns are T1 and T2. In order to solve for two unknowns, you need two equations. So two unknowns, let me write that down, need two equations to solve. And you've got that right here, 1 and 2. So the question is, how are you going to do it? Now, because of these signs, the problem is quite messy. So here I will do two ways of solving it. If time is short, the easiest way is to use something like Wolfram Alpha, or you could use your calculator if you know how to use it. So I'll just shift this paper out of the way, and you can see in Wolfram Alpha how I typed in the two commands. And the main thing is to notice that between the two equations there is a comma, and then you enter, and what you will see is that the answer is at the bottom of the screen. It says T1 equals 3301 newtons and T2 equals 582 newtons. And all of this doesn't take very long. And the other thing to notice is that Wolfram Alpha assumes that if you write sine 10, 10 is in 10 is in degrees. That's always something you have to be a little careful about, because in Mathematica, sine 10 would be treated as sine 10 radians, but apparently Wolfram Alpha, which is made by the same company, assumes 10 is in degrees. Okay, so I showed you how to type in these commands. Now I'm going to close this Wolfram Alpha and go back to the class notes. Okay, so now let's figure out how to now let's figure out how to do this problem. Okay, so I've labeled the two equations 1 and 2. I'm going to first work with equation 1, so it's over here, and I'm going to use my calculator and just enter the values of sine 10 and sine 80. So this is what I got. See how messy these numbers are. Okay, then what I did was I solved T2 in terms of T1. So you move the T1 to the other side. And then you get T2 equals T1 times 0.174 over 0.985. And we can simplify to get T1 times 0.177. Okay, now what you're going to do is take equation number 2. Let me move this paper down a second. Oh, okay, here's equation number 2. Okay, plug it all into your calculator. Let's see, I have to check my notes. Okay, you get that equation. And then what you want to do is take T1 from take T2 from above, which is right here, and insert it into equation 2. So plugging in, you will get the following for equation 2. And now you can solve for T1. So group together the T1s. And I think I did it for you already on a calculator. You will get that, and then you solve for T1. And you will get this number, which slightly differs from the Mathematica result because of round-off error. Okay, so once you have T1, you can then plug it back into this expression with the big arrow on it, and you will get T2 equals, and you just plug it all in, 3302 times 0.177 equals 584. So that's how I do it. That's it. Thank you.